Good morning from Malaysia, Dr. Alok, and everyone who is at the 9th World Women Leadership Congress. I've been there once. I think that was in 2019. So I've been there once. I think that was November or December in 2019. It was the pre-pandemic. Thank you for inviting us to be part of this edition, Dr. Alok. I think that this is awesome that we are coming in from Malaysia. Today, I am accompanied by my partners at Womentum. I have here my co-founder and also the consul for body empowerment. I also have here my CFO, Varin Gill. Varin comes from the finance background, as well as she is a sexual wellness coach. And today, the moderator for us will be Adelina Edna, who is also our COO at Womentum. We are a social impact startup that was founded here in Malaysia, and are happy to share with you our thoughts, our experiences, and what is our take on the wellness industry. Over to you, Dr. Alok.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alok. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. So wherever you are, good day to you. It's an honor to be here at the 9th edition of the World Women Leadership Congress, where the strategic and influential role of various women leaders are recognized and honored to further inspire more leaders and empowerment amongst women from all walks of life. On behalf of Womentum, I would like to thank the organizers for the invitation to have this discussion today on the topic, how to work in the new norm, work-life integration, on this esteemed virtual stage. My name is Adelina, and I am one of the co-founders as well as the COO at Womentum. And my area of expertise is in creative entrepreneurship, branding, and social media strategy. With me on the virtual stage today to discuss this topic are three amazing and inspiring women who I am privileged to work with on a daily basis. First, she has spoken before. We have the founder and CEO of Womentum, Nini Chong. She's a mother of two, an award-winning social impact marketing strategist. She's an entrepreneur, a trainer, a coach, community builder, and the consul for hormonal healing in Womentum. Next, we have co-founder and CFO of Womentum, Varin Gill. She is a business finance partner of All Black Ventures Private Limited, a 200 hours yoga teacher and primordial sound meditation facilitator. And she's also a sexuality coach. Then we have Womentum co-founder and body empowerment consul, Sazi Falak, who is a mother of three, an award-winning media personality and a certified fitness trainer. She's also the co-founder of two investor companies, Akar Pohon Capital Berhad and Precession Capital Berhad. Now, Womentum, which stands for Women in Momentum, was conceived in the midst of the pandemic in February 2021. We started building a tribe, a community of women and allies to empower and support women to be in momentum so they can stay on track sustainably with their goals. To be in momentum, we believe in pursuing wholesome wellness through five pillars of Womentum, which are body empowerment, emotional care, cognitive fitness, hormonal healing, and vigorous and zesty lifestyle. Through these pillars, we are able to promote conversations that are not spoken enough about or considered as taboo topics that affect women, but are rarely addressed. Through community and public conversations, we focus on positive development, knowledge sharing and learning, and supporting each other so everyone moves forward and in momentum together. With the shift into working from home these past 2 years, many of us have experienced disruption to our lives and our momentum. This shift has now become our new norm worldwide. The lines between work and home life have been severely blurred. So where do we draw the line between where work begins and where life begins? Can there be a balance, and is work-life integration possible? So with that, I'd like to pose the first question to Nini. Nini, in your opinion, is it possible to have that work-life integration, and how can a woman set herself up to win in work-life integration?
Thank you, Adelina, for the wonderful opening. There you go, people in India right now who is attending the event. Thank you also, Adelina, for the introduction on Womentum. I guess I'll start with how Womentum was conceived. That was what Adelina mentioned just now, right? I guess being in the pandemic, there was an opportunity where we are able to reflect on who we are as a woman, who I am as a mother, who I am as a business owner running multiple businesses, who I am as a wife, who I am as a household manager, who I am as a community builder, right? I guess one common denominator among all these roles that I have as a woman is that my health and my wellness. And most of the time when I say this, right, it will be, this is something that I don't really prioritize as I go on with my day-to-day roles in life. It will most of the time be about how do I feed the children. It will be how do I manage the online schooling that is new to all of us. How do I manage my team if I am running a business? How do I deliver results if I am in the corporate world, right? Well, let's go back to that common denominator. I think I would answer this, right, as setting up myself to win. Setting up myself to win comes from wellness and health, because if I am a woman and I am facing a reality where health and wellness is something that I am missing out on, or if you were to look at the report by UN Women, one of the poverty that women is facing while we are being in the pandemic is actually time and health poverty. So imagine this: how can I be at an optimum level of being an entrepreneur, being a mother, being a wife, being a household manager, being a community leader, right? So it just doesn't make sense, because only when I am healthy, only when my well-being is taken care of, then I get to be an optimized human being. Then I get to be an optimized woman. And I am able to now then optimize my performance at all these roles that I play on a day-to-day basis. So that is number one. How can I set up myself to win so that I am able to perform on my day-to-day role and tasks, and being really good at it, right? Optimizing my performance. So health and wellness. All right, so number two, what are the price that I am willing to pay as a woman who are playing many different roles, again, on my day-to-day. Okay, so what are some of the things that I need to be willing to pay? So for example, I am now working from home and am very proud to say that I have been enjoying working from home right now, because in Kuala Lumpur, we are quite famous for our traffic jam here. And I think that I have been missing, the feeling of going out, meeting people on a day-to-day basis. I have been missing the act of waking up in the morning, putting on my nice clothes, and putting on some makeup, and get into the car and get to work, right? I think these are some of the price that I am paying right now. But thinking about practicality and talking about efficiency, it is a worthwhile price for me to pay, right? Another thing I think price for me to pay is letting go some of the things that is not congruent with what I am about as a woman, or align with what is my vision as an entrepreneur? What is my vision as a community leader? What is my vision as a mother, right? It is letting go of frills in my life. I call it frills. Many of us would call it having fun, going out for that coffee, catching up with friends, right? I still do that. I'm not saying that I am letting go all of that, like everything, right? What I'm saying is that more often, I find myself getting into conversation that doesn't contribute value to me, and how do I limit and filter the conversation that I would only choose if it is contributing to the growth that I am moving towards. And number 3, right, I think it is about clarity. How am I going to be in momentum, and how can that help me achieve my aspirations in life, my aspirations for my nation through momentum? It is about, I think, taking care of my wellness state, taking care of my well-being state, taking care of my mental, my emotions, and of course the other pillars that we have in momentum: body empowerment, emotional care, cognitive fitness, hormonal healing, vigorous and zesty lifestyle. There are so many issues that I've been through during the pandemic itself that has revolved around these 5 pillars. And how do I just acknowledge, right? To start with step 1, to just acknowledge these are the challenges that I am facing right now, not to sweep it under the carpet, but really acknowledge that it is happening. And how do I pool resources that I have around me, or information that I have around me, and be in a platform, build that platform together with my co-founders here, so that myself, right, I've been quite ignorant in the, in my well-being before this, but how can I now learn? How can I now be more aware? How can I now be able to listen more to my body and what it is telling me, and address it not only on my own, but together with my support system. And I think this will contribute to, little by little, day by day, in me wanting to live the momentum lifestyle, getting better in these 5 pillars, and perform better as a mother, perform better as an entrepreneur, perform better as a community leader. So that I hope that I answered your question, Adelina. Back to you.
Thank you, Nini. Definitely. Indeed, there are so many considerations to integrating work and life, right? And addressing the time and health poverty that you mentioned can definitely contribute to the overall optimization of women as individuals and in all the roles that comes with it. And sometimes we don't realize what are the prices to pay and the alignment with our goals and vision. So that clarity of what is important to us and our growth, as well as setting ourselves to win with our capabilities and available resources, can really help to manage work-life integration, not only in this new norm, but also beyond. Did I capture that right? All right. So I'd like to move to Varin, right, for this next question. Varin, you are one of the co-founders and chief financial officer at Momentum, and you are also a sexuality coach. Those are seemingly two very different worlds. Could you share with us how you balance your calming, sensual, spiritual side with the hectic lifestyle and demands of a startup co-founder?
That's such a big question, Adelina. And I'm also a yoga teacher, right? Amidst all of that, I think that's going to be vital to this answer. So yes, I started out my career in finance. I qualified with the Big Four in the UK, and it was a very, very stressful time. You know, I was away from my family, and really all life was just about work, 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 work. And there was one word that was the cornerstone of life at that time, because, you know, things have changed so much in the last 20 years. So the word is hustle. Back then, and I think even today, a lot of people like this word hustle. And what hustle does to us, when we hustle for something that is not aligned to who we are, what hustle does to us is it exhausts the body. It exhausts you because you're not naturally directed towards that force. Now this is my yoga side coming into this explanation. When you push yourself towards something that isn't in integrity with you, that is not in alignment with who you are, what happens is you also delete your other resources. For instance, you might be eating food and you think you're nourishing yourself, but actually your body isn't nourishing itself because it's out of alignment. So all kinds of things that you're doing are not able to actually achieve their ideal goals when you're hustling towards something that is not aligned to your true self. So yes, I used the hustle route. That's all I knew at the time. And I achieved a head of finance, a CFO status. I was managing 50 people at one point, and it was very, very stressful, but I thought that was the goals of life. But at the same time, what had happened was I wasn't having the best relationship with who's now my ex-husband, my ex-husband. And you know, now we have parted ways. But during that time when we were working through things, I discovered so many aspects of wellness, one of which was yoga, coaching. I had sexual issues. So I was exposed to so many modalities around the body, around healing, around the concept of balance. And that's when I really started to explore this space. And I realized how vital it is to use alignment in your life. For example, today I am CFO of a company that promotes lifestyle, that promotes women in momentum towards the directed lifestyle of balance, of support, of empathy, of compassion. And this is aligned to me. Instead of me pushing to do something at a company that doesn't align with my core values. So that to me is one huge aspect to this, making sure that whatever I'm working towards is something that I am aligned towards. Is everything okay with my sound? Can I just check? Because the screen on my end has gone down.
I think we're hearing a bit of feedback.
Okay, there you are, back, Adelina. Just checking.
I'm here.
Okay, all right. Yes, so that would be one aspect. And since then, I have made sure that everything I do, I check back, I use reflection techniques, and I check back to make sure that it is in alignment with myself, to make sure that it's integrated with who I am as an individual. And all of these techniques, not only do they come handy in my life, but they come handy in the lives of everyone who I work with. You know, I teach yoga, I do sexual wellness with, and today I use the same techniques when I host our clubhouse rooms where we have our tribe come and we talk about all kinds of taboo topics. We talk about topics of empowerment, of things that maybe we're afraid to talk about in a wider context. If I'm holding the energy of hustle, I can personally feel that I'm not able to hold space for that person. But the moment I step into the energy of inner alignment, you know, alignment with everything around me, alignment with that person's pain points at that point, I immediately feel I can be there, I can be of service, and I can actually create a space to assist them through the process. So I hope that helps, Adelina.
Thank you very much. Wow, that really gives a little bit more insight into how you balance both worlds, right? So even though when I initially I said it's seemingly two very different worlds, but really what I've heard you say is that you've actually combined both and connected both in the way you approach being the lifestyle and demands of being a startup co-founder, and how you've identified hustling as being out of alignment with your true self, and instead of fighting who you are, but using that as a strength to really use your the calmness and the techniques that you've learned from that, from doing yoga, from being a sexuality coach, to being a CFO. So even though it seems different, but it actually can be integrated as not just in life, but also in work, and using that and at the same time having that inner alignment with yourself, so you don't feel like you are doing something that is not true to you. And I think that is really beautiful. Thank you so much for that sharing there, Varun. Okay, so next up, hi Sazi.
Hi, Adelina.
Yes, so you are the consul for the body empowerment pillar in Momentum. Do you think there is a link between the pillar that you represent, which is body empowerment, and productivity, especially in juggling your busy schedule as a mother and an entrepreneur and a media personality? Your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So hello, everybody, and thank you so much for having us here. It's an honor truly to be here with all of you. Thanks for that question, Adelina. And of course, I absolutely feel that there is a link in productivity. So when Nini approached me, we both, when we started Momentum and we had the 5 pillars, and she said, babe, I feel that you can represent the body empowerment pillar. So I had to seriously think about what is body empowerment. And, I asked questions to people. I was like, what is body empowerment to you? So everybody has different answers, and all the answers are correct. For me, personally, what body empowerment means is accepting our bodies, accepting that, and knowing and loving our bodies. And once you've done that, that's when you make decisions around it, and the decisions that you make around it will be healthier. A lot of answers came as well. Body empowerment is about taking care of yourself, which I also believe is true. Body empowerment is about, accepting the shape and sizes of women. That I also find it true. So all these answers for me does have a link to productivity. So a little background on myself. I've been in the entertainment industry. I am an actress and TV host, and I've been in this industry for 20 years. I dabble in business from 10 years ago, and now I do investments. So when you think about productivity, it's about being your best self. And body empowerment goes beyond just being healthy or eating the right food. It's about accepting your body. For instance, going to a social setting, agree. I don't know whether you'll agree with me, but in most cases, or a long time ago, or maybe just before this, in a social setting, women will go and talk to each other, and then they start talking about, oh, have you gained weight? Oh, I've lost weight. And then it's that toxic conversation that happens. And most times, those sort of conversations will make other women feel, or most women feel, dissatisfied with their bodies, unhappy with their bodies. And that's the thing that we want to take away. That is, for me, body empowerment is so that we will have our young girls be able to live in a world where they're not threatened to meet other fellow women with a toxic mentality. And that is what I want to create. I'm also a mother of 3. I've got 2 young, beautiful daughters and 1 son. And I want my daughters to be able to grow up. And the conversation around body, it's not about whether I've got skinny thighs, I've got that thigh gap, or I've got abs. It's about loving our bodies, going deeper than just how it looks. It's about feeling good. So if there's a link, whether or not if there's a link to productivity, yes, of course. If we feel good, if I feel good with myself, I can go for any events or business meetings and everything, but I'm feeling very much aligned, using your word, Varun, with myself. And therefore, I am more productive. But also, taking out the context of eating healthy as well and working out. Once you have accepted your body and you love your body and you realize this is your home for the rest of your lives, wouldn't you make better decisions in taking care of yourself? So then you start eating healthier, you start going for exercises. And those obviously will help with productivity. For me, I do exercise. I'm certified fitness instructor, and I do eat well. I wouldn't say 100% of the time. I do believe we need to be a little naughty at times because, you know, YOLO. But once I start taking care of my body, I work out, I feel stronger, I feel healthier. Eating right gives me, you know, eating the right superfoods, good food, gives me a better mindset, clears my brain. I am stronger, I have more stamina. So yes, there is obviously a link to productivity. And I hope I answer your question, Adelina.
Definitely, you definitely answered my question. So, and I am inclined to agree on what you've shared. Yeah, there are many interpretations to body empowerment for everyone. Everybody sees it differently, and I think the key learning point from what you've shared is to be comfortable in your own skin instead of focusing on toxicity of societal expectations and perceptions, especially in terms of body image and confidence. So when we're confident and we love our bodies, we tend to make the decisions that brings us to a healthier outlook, healthier goals, and healthier, more realistic goals specifically than what is imposed, especially in society. All right. So thank you so much, Saz, for shedding light. And when we're confident, then productivity is just easy, because we're no longer focusing on, oh my God, is my body not right? Is it not fitting with societal norms and all that? And the focus becomes more on, okay, how can I be my optimized self in order for me to be in momentum and be productive? All right. Okay, so I've got one final question, and this is for the three of you, right? So doing the work that we do at Momentum, what is the change or the cultural shift you would like to see and create in the realm of women empowerment and leadership? So let's start with Nini.
Thank you again, Adelina. The hope that I would like to see, I guess, this is not I guess, right? There's so much clarity in this. And I've spoken about this many times. Being true, having been through all the challenges that I've been through revolving around the 5 pillars, right? One of the biggest thing for me is the feeling of being lonely, the feeling of that I am not able to reach out for support freely, right? That I would want it to be different for my children. And when I say children, not only my children, it is all your children, right? The children of the future, really, that they will one day be able to say this, that I am not feeling good, and it has been a month or so that I am feeling some anxiety. I am unable to sleep at night because the feeling of anxiety is consuming me. The feeling of anxiety is affecting my productivity at work and at home. How or where can I get help? It could be like a conversation between me and Varin, or between me and Sazi when we are having our girl session for coffee, right? That I can speak about that openly without being afraid that I will be judged. So that, because if we have that in the future, then it's no longer taboo for us to speak about, having challenges within the body empowerment, and that involves sex topics, right? Sex challenges, sexual health challenges, body empowerment could also lead to, me feeling that I am unhappy or not so confident about my body. Mental and emotional health around emotional care and cognitive pillar. Hormonal healing. I didn't know anything about hormones and hormonal health if that is even a term, so that I am able to live my life vigorously, right, and with zest. Saying that also, I think we cannot ignore that we are living in a modern era where life just happened and 1,000 things would happen in one day. That is where Womentum come in place with our support system, as well as our Womentum system, right? The Womentum planning system, where people are able to use tech, people are able to leverage on digital applications to have their life be in momentum and to be strategic about handling challenges and being in momentum, as well as performing at optimized level on a day-to-day basis. So that's my hope, Adelina. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Nini. Varin, what do you think about that? Sorry, Varin, you are muted. Yes.
Thank you, Adelina, for that reminder. So what do I think of, that could be shifted, could be added to women empowerment and leadership? Amazing response there from my colleague, Nini, actually. Wow. And the way she speaks as well, right? So passionate. I think for me, I feel that boundaries are really important. Boundaries have become very important to me. So it's like when you know what your core values are, when you know what you are aligned towards, then it's time to create those boundaries. And it's, as women, I think the biggest challenge, certainly for me, I'm not a mother, and even then I have issues with creating boundaries in terms of, you know, being able to say no to people. This is my time, even to my own family, like, you know, this is my time, though I live with you, this is my space, this is my time, and this is where I need to nurture myself. This is where I need to re-nourish myself, replenish myself, and then, only then am I able to give to somebody else. So for me, I think it's time for women to take their power back, to claim their space, to have those boundaries, for them to first be who they are, and when their cup is full, to then be able to contribute to whoever it is that they want to contribute to. So in terms of leadership, that's self-leadership. I'm going to lead myself, I'm going to create my space, and then I can be a good leader to you. And then from then on, empowerment just flows. It becomes natural because my cup is full. It has taken me very long to come to this point of being better at creating boundaries. I'm not perfect at all. So I still have issues with saying that no, but it's a learning process. So that for me would be a huge shift in culture if women learned how to say no and create their boundaries. Thank you, Adelina.
Thank you so much, Varin. So that's about boundaries and learning that you can have boundaries. It's not just saying yes to everything, right? Okay, Saz, what do you think? What change or culture shift would you like to see?
Wow, how do I top that? Nini and Varin, love your answers. What is the shift that I'd like to see? I was just thinking, interestingly, when Nini and Varin were sharing, societal expectations of women, I think it's something that I like to see change. There's this whole conversation about women are expected to be this, but can't be this, or you need to have children, only then you're complete, or you need to be skinny, and then therefore only then you're beautiful. And I like to take those sort of conversations away. It's about being your true inner self. It's still happening. It's still happening. Although conversations have shifted a little bit towards the better, being more positive, but it still happens. And the sort of conversations that I grew up with, it's not something that I want my two daughters to grow up with. Again, like I was mentioning, women, we're expect to be leaders, but then don't earn more than your husband. Those sort of thing. Oh, only if you get married and have children, therefore then you are complete. And if you're not married and you don't have children, there's something wrong with you. That sort of thing. I want women to feel comfortable at whatever stage they are, however they look. I'm married, I'm happy because I chose to be. I'm not married, I'm single because I chose to be. So I think those sort of societal expectations that I like to take away from, of course, it's a work in progress, I would say. And I want women, especially young girls like my girls, to feel like they are able to make the choices not based on what is expected of them. That's all. Thank you for that question, Adelina.
No problem. Thank you so much. Those were really amazing, insightful responses, because as human beings, we want to be in momentum. We want to have this work-life integration, but how, right? So being in momentum and having that work-life integration includes having open conversations about what we're going through. We're not okay all the time, and that's fine, and that's okay, right? And to be in alignment with ourselves so we can optimize our productivity, be in momentum. Yeah, and again, as human beings, we are going to face challenges, and we're not saying there will be no challenges in the future. That's not what I've been hearing, but rather it's how we manage them. Having that clarity on what we want, our aspirations, knowing how to nourish ourselves. I like how Varun said, we have to nourish ourselves and make sure that our cup is full in order to pay it forward and help others as well. And to learn boundaries, being able to be comfortable at any stage and path that we've chosen. There's nothing wrong with being married. There's nothing wrong with being single. There's nothing wrong with having kids or pursuing your career and wanting everything. There's nothing wrong with that, but rather managing that expectation, being comfortable with the choices that we make. So that's something I think is beautiful for us to hope for change. And that's a beautiful culture shift that we can strive for moving forward. Wow, what an amazing conversation we've had today. Very insightful from our three speakers. So ladies and members of the audience, I'd like to share that the heart of what we do here at Momentum is building a supportive, judgment-free community where we win together by being in momentum and take care of our overall well-being through the 5 pillars, which are body empowerment, emotional care, cognitive fitness, hormonal healing, and living a vigorous and zesty lifestyle. And that community in Momentum is called the Momentum Tribe. In the Momentum Tribe, there are plenty of opportunities for growth and momentum. Not only is it a supportive and positive environment, it is also a space to meet like-minded individuals pursuing the momentum lifestyle, to become outstanding daughters, mothers, wives, as well as impactful leaders in the workforce and extraordinary entrepreneurs. Being part of the tribe also provides a conducive space to be empowered and to empower others by helping them build momentum in their own lives to move faster and further together. We also organize tribe-only activities to strengthen the spirit of community and bring value to the tribe in how to be in momentum, take care of their personal well-being, manage challenges, and they are able to pay it forward and elevate one another. The Momentum Tribe is open to anyone who is in pursuit of being in momentum and living a wholesome wellness life. So if you are intrigued by today's conversation and you'd like to learn more about how you too can be part of the Momentum Tribe and be in pursuit of the Momentum lifestyle, you can do so by visiting our website at www.momentum.live/tribe. So that's www.momentum.live, LIFE/tribe, TRIBE. Right. Once again, on behalf of Momentum, thank you to the organizers for inviting us today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in today's discussion on the topic, how to work in the new norm, work-life integration. This is me, Adelina, and our speakers, Nini, Varun, and Sazi from Momentum, wishing you an amazing day and Congress experience. Thank you very much.